a lot of audience that may have seen you, but may not connect the videos. You went viral a number of years ago. In fact, I had seen that video, and I didn't even really correlate you and that same person together, of course. You know, I have seen the incredible strength that you've been putting up and the weights you've been putting up here at the gym. But this video now that's on the screen right here of you squatting. What is that weight? 600 and what?
That right there, that was 675 pounds. That was in February of 2018. And the funny thing about this video is because, well, one, that was my warm-up weight. It wasn't supposed to feel like that, wasn't supposed to look like that, and obviously the barbell's not supposed to do that shit.
Warm-up weight?
Yeah. So that was in prep for the Kern US Open in 2018. It was like the big premier powerlifting meet that year. I was working up to 700-pound squats that day. Basically asked the gym if I would be cool using that bar. They were like, yeah, it's a Troy Power bar. You're totally going to be good. We've had people use it before. I don't know what happened, but apparently I wasn't. The funny thing is, though, you just said it. You know me. We're friends. We've known each other for like 3 years now. But the thing is, I've broken world records. I've set powerlifting records. I've done really well, like excelled at my sport. But when this happened, I didn't have a world record. I knew in the back of my mind, because I think that thing has like 20 million views on YouTube now. It was on MTV's Ridiculousness. Like it's been all over. But I knew I would always be the guy that bent the bar and never known as a guy who broke the world records. And I still have people like to this day come up and be like, man, you're that guy. You're that guy. And I'm like, yes, indeed, I am that guy. So
it's crazy though. I met you the complete opposite because I'd seen that video kind of like, you know, in the montage of life, right? And I seen it, never kind of put much thought to it. Of course, you look at it and go, oh my God.
Yeah.
Move on with life. Now I see you doing all this absolute madness, which we will get into later on the podcast. But then I found out that was you. In fact, my producer, Tyus, was like, that was you? And then I was like, that was you? So not only, though, did obviously that thing go viral, but maybe the audience don't know this because that clip has obviously gone around the world 100 times and back, and they may have seen it a few times. But you came out of that with quite a lot of injuries.
Yep, exactly that. And like with that video, you see it, and I seem to get out of it pretty unscathed.
Yeah.
And I thought I was good. I thought I was okay that day, but I didn't understand what that set up to happen in my body that ultimately resulted in me not being healthy in the context of like being able to train my upper body at all for 5, 6, 7 years. So what happened was, if you go, you don't have to pull the video again.
Can we see this again, Tyus?
But if you go, for anybody watching, if you go watch that video again, as I come up and you see the bar bend, but it doesn't bend to a bow as if it was like a specialty barbell, like a Buffalo barbell or a Duffalo bar. It bends to a point, and that point is a singular spot of pressure that was literally pinching tissue on my back. And as you watch, I rack the one side, and obviously I'm like, I have to get out of this. I'm not panicking. It's just like, I don't know what to do here.
Yeah.
So I think I punch my right hand out from underneath of it, and it leaves all of that pressure on that singular point on my left side for a millisecond.
Seconds, yeah.
But in that video, at that same time, my best raw bench press was 575 pounds in the gym, 540 pounds on the platform, and that's raw. That's not with a supportive equipment. It's just a t-shirt, like wrist wraps, just doing it myself. But after that video happened, I ended up, what happened was I pinched a nerve. It was a disc herniation of my C6 and C7, which bulged and then caused compression injuries to my dorsal scapular nerve and thoracodorsal nerves. Those two nerves essentially are main components of the brachial plexus. It's that nerve bundle in your upper body that tells your upper body what to do. So not that day, not even a month later, not even 2 months later, but around 3 months later, my pec, my delt, my tricep, and my lat, all on the left side, started to lose feeling. I
know some really big words.
Yeah. Well, I have a degree in exercise science, and I minored in biology, and I've done a lot of continuing education. I was going to go to school to get excuse me, I got accepted into a doctor of osteopathic medicine school, but then I ended up stopping because I liked lifting weights more, and it's like follow your dreams.
You might have to
shit, so.
keep it at my level.
Bro,
I have no idea what you just said.
Keep it at my level. Tyus can hang on to the words.
Nah, dude, you know me. I'm like the intellectual meathead. I'm dumb as, but it's like I have to know some things because the only way I was able to figure out how to get better from this shit was to learn as much as I have, because if I hadn't done that, I'd still be just grinding my forehead into the brick wall in front of me. But the fact of the matter is, I went from being able to bench press mid 500s, weighing 220 pounds, to same body weight, not being able to lock out 225 pounds. I couldn't do a push up without my left scapula winging and become like going all sideways. I still can't feel. Obviously, this is an audio medium, but for anybody watching, I'm touching my pinky in like the area behind my the pinky on my left hand. I still can't feel this. The ulnar nerve is severed. So I with powerlifting, the main lifts are squat, bench, deadlift. My bench and deadlift were in the shitter for years and years and years because I couldn't close this hand. I couldn't engage my tricep, my lat, my pec. I couldn't lock anything out on bench press. And because of that, obviously, like you see my physique, I have very, very strong, very, very large muscular legs. And I do have a big upper body. I'm a big guy, but it's much less developed than in comparison to my legs. But I got out of that video, and it hung around for a long time. That injury was one of the most we talked about it a little bit, but it put me in a really dark spot for a while, just because it sort of forced me to consider that I had, even at the age of like 26 or 25, 26, whatever, when I was kind of accepting the fact that was like, I'm really, really hurt and I don't know if I can get through this. It kind of forced the contemplation of, I might have done the best I ever could do in this. It was that like forced retirement consideration where it's like, shit, I may have maxed out the ability for me to do what I wanted to do with this.
So you're saying that you lost the feeling in your arm, your pec, your tricep. Was there muscle atrophy too?
Yes, yeah. If you scroll back, way back on my Instagram, I and I can get photos of this to Tyus and whatnot. But if you scroll back way on my Instagram, like there's photos where like my lat and my tricep, like I raise my arms overhead and it's completely gone. There's still even a little bit of discrepancies between like the ability of like to externally rotate and engage the musculature on my left side and stuff like that. It's just because it was such a frustrating injury, because like I know you have shoulder issues, like you've banged yourself up throughout the years, but the thing about this particular injury, there was never any pain. It never hurt. It was just as if I literally forgot how to use my arm and my upper body, which was one of the most frustrating things to go through, because having been as strong as I was, I would go into the gym and just be like, I know I can do the thing. I know I can do the thing. And I would try to do the thing and it just wouldn't go. So it was a very, very, just psychologically, it was incredibly difficult to deal with that without that pain or without the injury feeling.
Thank you for watching this segment. Check out the full interview on iTunes, Spotify, or YouTube. Help us by subscribing, leave a like, comment, or a positive review. Click this to see what YouTube recommends, and this to see the full interview. See you on the next one. Out.